Hey guys, Sure Shot Midget here. I'm going to be making a video for those who care. It's an update video on the KWA SR10 that James owned. It's not his anymore. I sold it for him, or he sold it to a friend of mine that was looking for a gun, so it's not James's anymore. Now, I'm just going to go over the externals, and then I'll go over the internals. We'll shoot it, we'll chrono it, yada yada. So it's pretty much a shooting test, but I'll go over what has changed. So first of all, in the front there's a JBU MSS modular suppressor system. This is a QD suppressor, but it's not really even worth it because the barrel's sticking through. So unless it gets a shorter barrel till here, he can do that so that he can take it off. Okay. This this vertical grip is unknown brand. It's actually the best one that I've seen. Most of these grips that I see actually have a seam line going down here and they actually crack. I had one or two like that a long time ago. And this one is much more sturdy, so I'm guessing this is like a better brand. But it's still, I don't really care for him. It just came with the gun. James had it and he didn't want it, so I just threw it on there and sold it with it. I didn't even raise the price with it. It just kind of included it. Some rail covers here. KWA SR10 rail. Now, the barrel does not wobble at all, but the rail does. And if you hold it up like this, or if you're holding the rail, and it looks like you're moving the barrel, but you're not. It's just the rail, because the barrel is super secure. Because when you hold the receiver, it doesn't move at all. So the rail is a little loose, just a tiny. Nothing that would bother me. And I think it's 10 inches. KBS or 10 rail should be 10 inches. It's a nice rail, I guess. I'm not really too big of a fan. I really like the big barrel nut back here. KWA SR10 body, pistol grip, charging handle, everything. KWA 2-piece hop-up with KWA bucking and a unknown barrel, probably a 6.03 or something for brass. It's an M16 length, almost an M16 length, I believe. This holographic is my brother's. I think Micah might buy this for this gun. Not totally sure. It is cracked, but basically this is an opticless gun, what he paid for it so far. So I don't know, he could put anything on here he wants. Crane stock is very tight on the buffer tube, but it's a brand new crane stock, so I sold that to James. Well, it's not brand new anymore, because I sold it to James a while ago. It's pretty much a brand new stock when I sold it to him, though. So that's pretty much it for the externals, right? Nothing really fancy on the outside, really. Maybe just an optic, and I was considering selling him this flashlight. If this pressure pad goes in the slot here, he could probably tape it in there, glue it in there or something, because it's a little thin. He could put that in there and then have the flashlight like under here or something, or up here, and he could just tape it or zip tie it, and I would sell this to him for 15 bucks. It's not the brightest flashlight, but it'll work for indoors. So let's go to the gearbox components. The motor in here is stock, KWA motor. The wiring is stock. Well, I think. The previous owner that had it, I had to wire it because the back wires were jacked, and the wires that I had are thin, so the wires aren't the best. So if I could recommend anything to Micah, it would probably be a Sigma MOSFET, because it replaces all the wires. The gear set in here is a 1601. These were $13 at Assault Airsoft. They were out of 1301s. The rate of fire difference, maybe like 2 to 3 rounds a second. Not too big of a deal, but still would have been nice to have the 1301s, but I just, well, never mind. Forget it. I kind of assumed they were in stock. So one of the employees there told me they were in stock, and they weren't, so yeah, so 1601s aren't that bad. They're not, too different from stock gear sets, and some stock guns come with 16 ones anyways. But they're strong. SHS gear sets are strong. They're brand new. I grease them and put them in, shim them also. So these gears are shimmed pretty nicely. Let's see, what else components. Swap the KWA piston head out because the KWA piston heads are trash. There's no port on it. So it was like crap. So I put a Cyma piston head on this on the stock KWA piston. The KWA pistons are pretty good. Piston heads are utter garbage. So I put a Cyma plastic one on here, and the compression doubled pretty much. So that is perfect. FPS that he's getting, it's about perfect. Maybe a little bit higher would be nice, but it's CQB legal. So let's see what else. I think that's it. Everything else is just stock KWA that's in here. KWA trigger contacts cut off nicely, so no cutoff issues. It came with a 7.4 1200 stick Deans. This thing fits in the buffer tube, or the stock tube, whereas an 11.1 would not. So 7.4 really is his only option, unless he would get an 11.1 tri-cell, which are, well, all the ones are 3 cells, but 3 nunchuck, and did one in the buffer tube, 1 in each stock tube. That would be his only option for that, if he wanted to use an 11.1. Which, if he wants to use an 11.1, he's got to get a Sigma MOSFET. Or even another MOSFET would do, but Sigma MOSFETs are very affordable, let's just say that. I mean, I have one in my gun, my ICSM4. I'm not gonna put the stock tube on, or stock plate on. I have one in my ICSM4. I also have one in my brother's GMP build. Okay, so 7.4. So shimming is not bad. The motor height, this is the biggest issue with this gun currently. If this motor plate is pushed all the way up in, it sounds like garbage. Here, let me push it up in. Hear that? Okay, that motor height is crap. And the motor height is non-adjustable. I mean, you can take it and adjust it, but it doesn't put the motor down. The motor is already down as far as it can go. So I had to loosen the screws so that the base plate is looser, so that the motor can sit down and sit in the right position. So that's kind of jank, but it actually sounds pretty good when it's in the right spot. So GMP, mid-cap, these feed great. If you have a KWA, I'd recommend them. Even the K120s that I have don't feed in the KWA M4. Same brand mags don't fit in the same brand gun. It's weird. KWA bodies suck. But they're metal, so, well, this one at least. So let's go ahead and shoot it with the 7.4 first. Trigger response is pretty good. 354, 353, 354, 356, 354. That's with hop-up adjusted too. It's a low or high 360s with hop-up not adjusted, but the range is crap. So I'm guessing there's an M110 spring in here. I don't know if that's up a little bit. That's up a little bit. All right, first mag. Turn the hop up a little bit more. With the hop up where I like it, it's like 340 feet per second, but it gets the best range. All right, let's try an 11.1. Battery's not very warm. Not at all, actually. Nope. After a full mag, that's fine. That's good. 11.1. So, I mean, cycle speed's pretty good. Alright, that is, well, let's chrono it. 22. 22. 22 RPS. So 22 RPS and 11.1. Pretty good. Happy with that. But again, if you had a Sigma MOSFET, the rate of fire would probably go up by maybe around a second, if that even matters. 22 is pretty good. That's a 1601 gear set. That's pretty much a stock gear set. Because some stock guns actually come with 1601s. So battery is not hot at all, or warm or anything. Motor is warm, it's not hot. I can still hold on to it and fire it. So, that's just that. This was an 11.1 Vulcan, like 25C, 1000 milliamp. And this is a 1200 7.4 20C. So, this battery came with the gun, so he's all set. They don't have a LiPo charger, so basically I'll just have to charge it up when I give it to him and tell him to leave it unplugged. And occasionally he can just bring the LiPo to me, or just give it to me and I'll charge it up if he wants to use it, or if it sounds like it's dying. 1200 milliamp. I don't know how long that's going to last charged up, just like sitting around, you know, sitting in the gun, not plugged in. I don't know how long it's going to keep its charge. LiPos tend to hold their charge a little bit better than NIM batteries when they're not being used. So hopefully that's, you know, true. I've seen that true. So in my experience, LiPos seem to hold their charge better. So, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section. Just trying to get the wires. Oh, here, I'll put them in there. In the buffer tube. Alright, working on my PTW still, so you may see videos on that this week. Just depends on if, well, my MOSFET is going to be here Monday. It should have been here Saturday. But I'll have videos on that. I got a Systema MOSFET for dirt cheap because the guy does not know if it works. But I did notice the fuse was blown. So if the fuse is blown, I have multiple fuses. If that's the only issue with it, I struck gold because I pretty much just paid for shipping. So we'll see in the end. But if it doesn't work, I'm going to see if Z-Shot can warranty it. I doubt they can do. I don't think they do electronics, especially 08 electronics. But I can ask Zach to see if they can do anything. If not, I'll just have to buy. I know another guy that's selling a brand new set of 08 electronics, just the MOSFET for $75. So I'll probably have to just eat it and buy that. But I may have struck gold with the Systema MOSFET that I got for $5 for shipping. So thanks for watching, guys. That MOSFET will be in here tomorrow, so I may have the PTW video tomorrow. It'll probably just be dry fire. I probably won't make a full video on it yet, because I'll have to test feeding and everything, but after I put the gun together, if the MOSFET works and everything cycles, I'll probably just make a tiny video of it cycling on with the gun closed and open. And then I will do my own testing with feeding and hop up. So, thanks for watching. See you guys later.